Going live.
We're good?
Yeah.
Yeah?
The one. Woo.
Hi.
Somebody forgot to wear their face condom.
Hi. It's called a dental dam, sir. Are we live? We are live. It's been a while. You can hear my head up high. Let's see. How do I share this?
Don't ever sing again.
What the fuck are you dropping over there? Oh, thank you. Porsche said she's already grossed out. Welcome to Houston Wrestling Radio. Share.
The Jets win this fucking game.
I mean, that looks close to me.
No. They don't see shit because I turned it off.
Who cares about foosball? That foosball's of the devil.
Mama said. So it took me a couple of seconds to cobble together a rundown, but we have a show.
All right, so I got it shared on
The book face?
On the book face. Post. All right, it's posting. I don't like it when we have just the two of us and we sit across like this because on the camera you see nothing but lonja. You know, I'm facing this way. At least you know you get just from the front. You
the
can't
black
tell.
doesn't help.
Yeah, you can't tell. It's a little different. A little bit.
Known you for a long time, brother. There's nothing little.
You know what? Shut the fuck up. How about that? How about that?
Well, you could have taken it as a compliment if you were talking about
Hi.
But you gotta get all defensive.
You know what? I've known you for long enough. I know when you're not serving up a compliment.
Touche. That's a show. Thank you, everybody.
Yep. All right. We're all loaded up.
That's what she said.
Hi. Papa. Although it's not loading the chat. There it is. It loaded the chat now. Okay. Woo! We got it. Why are we here on a fucking Sunday afternoon?
Because you got shit to do. People got shit to do.
Yeah.
And it's been a while.
Well then. Live from the landing strip in Houston, Texas is a 388th edition of Houston Wrestling Radio. This is Abel.
This is Chris.
And thank you so much for tuning in. If you're watching us live, awesome. Log into your YouTube account. That way you can chat along with us in the live chat. I'll see it here in the little comment section on my handy dandy smartphone. We already have
Abel 3000.
Yes. We already have Portia and JoJo in
Yo!
there. What up, y'all?
I figured after the Texans loss, you need an upper.
Yeah. Well,
so you have to watch it.
Yeah. And 40-0. Holy crap.
Yeah, the Deshaun special.
Woo. Híjole. If you're not watching this live, that's okay. You can still interact with us on Facebook, facebook.com/Houston Wrestling Radio.
And on the Twitter and the Google and the YouPorn and the Pinterest and the Reddit. OnlyFans. Yeah. That's where the lonjas come in handy.
Mm-hmm.
Boy, because we're in October, so November, December, somebody's gonna want this warmth.
Yes. Fat Boy Fall's coming up. Fat Boy Fall.
Talk to me about AEW Grand Slam. Highs, lows, meh. Pick something. Full disclosure, we didn't even know we were recording today until yesterday.
Yeah.
So we have the note sheet was blank up until 30 minutes ago. So we're on a natural field trip. We're going to just go off of what we can remember.
So
tell them what you've seen and what you haven't seen.
I'm all caught up on AEW except for Friday. This past Friday, I haven't watched Rampage, but for the last 3 weeks, I've made sure that I watch AEW. I am not caught up at all on WWE. I haven't watched shit for WWE the last 3 or 4 weeks. That includes the pay-per-view. Didn't watch it. Just didn't watch it.
Ooh.
So yeah, I am not caught up at all.
To the 2.0, huh?
Yes, I have a few nuggets of wisdom on
we'll
the 2.0.
There.
But when you're talking about Grand Slam, you mean the Arthur Ashe stuff, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. Fuck it. My match of the week's pick, Kenny versus D-Bry. It was good. It was
Bry D.
Holy shit, did I just do that? I did.
Everyone's been doing it. I mean, come on.
I fucking dead named him. Yeah, Brian.
Brian Danielson.
Yeah, Danielson. That's his name now.
That's been his name.
Yeah. But yeah, that was cool, man. It was a good match. I really enjoyed it. I think that was the best match out of all the stuff that I've seen, and I'm glad that they finally used the time limit draw there. Although I think there was 2 or 3 other instances where time limit draws could have been used by AEW in the recent past. I think this is another instance where you could have used one and they used it. Would I have liked to see them also do that for Darby and Punk? Yeah, but also Bryan and Omega. Yeah, that needs it too, and they used it. So I understand not doing it for every single one that I want them to do it on, because you can only do it so many times, right? So is it the right answer? Is it the wrong answer? I don't know about that, but this is definitely a match that would have been worthy of this type of ending, and I agree. I fully agree with the booking there.
As a fan of AEW, thumbs up or thumbs down of having that slow, methodical, stretched out wrestling on a program that's...
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
I don't think it was too slow. Yeah, they had to like feel each other out at the beginning, but a lot of that was also the feels. The crowd wasn't letting them, just get to it. Yeah. Because the crowd was like just going crazy, just at a fucking collar and elbow, right? So yeah, you milk that, and they did. They weren't playing to the TV in an empty arena, right? Like we had been seeing, over the course of 2020, the beginning part of 2021. And yeah, I know that they've been wrestling in front of audiences for the last several months, but this time it felt like, oh shit, we got to do crowd work. And they did do crowd work, and it actually came good across the telly. So I wasn't like, oh my God, it's slow and methodical. They built it up, and it's what I don't know. I liked it. So no,
I don't really know if I can remember a flaw in the match. Mm-hmm. The only observation was that well, there's one other thing that I'm going to get to that I can't wait to get to. But the observation of I've seen 2 years worth of Dynamite.
Yeah.
And that felt like it was out of place a bit. Not necessarily in a negative way, but we tried having this conversation after All Out where we're going to come to that point in the road where what do AEW fans expect? Do they expect the indie style boom, 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 or the sports entertainment aspect of drawing things out, slower pace, a lot more methodical?
I don't know if that.
And you enjoy everything as long as it's good,
right? But I also don't think I would have said that was a sports entertainment match. I don't think it was. I agree it wasn't completely indie-rific.
Yeah, but
it kind of was. There,
it had its moments, and it was timed right.
And
that's part of what it is, because a lot of indie wrestling isn't timing. A lot of indie wrestling is just, let's just cram 10 pounds of shit into a 5-pound bag. and it's always going.
Yeah, and I think this was just good wrestling. And I mean, JoJo says it was a class in pro wrestling, and I'd say so too. I don't think it was too slow or it lacked the flash enough to say it was sports entertainment, but I also don't think it was like, flippy dippy fest either. But it was right in kind of a sweet spot. I don't think it was, that was a WWE style match. It wasn't. It definitely wasn't. It felt more like an old school ROH or a transitional New Japan style match, which was cool because that's what we wanted when we had Kenny coming over to we wanted do AEW. Yeah, we wanted the cleaner. That's what we wanted out of Bryan Danielson. We want to see the American Dragon, and that's what we got. We saw fucking cattle mutilation, and how long has it been? And like, oh fuck, I forgot he does that. Yeah. It's really cool, So it had its hard hitting and its flashy moves. I mean, there was a couple of V-triggers in there. I was like, and then Danielson started doing his thing too with the hard stiff strikes. The running
the kick in the chop, the kick in the chop.
Yeah. So it wasn't. It wasn't sports entertainment where it could sometimes be a little soft, right? It wasn't soft. It was still strong style, right? And it wasn't slow. It was paced, Now
that I think about it, the only nit that I have to pick as far as the presentation of that match, going back to my observation of watching 2 years worth of AEW Dynamite, is that for the most part, when matches tend to drag, because 99% of all Dynamite matches go through a break.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
But even Excalibur will fill you in. It's like, it's been 15 minutes, and these guys are still killing each other. Yeah. You had to have been paying attention to the ring announcer or to the reaction from the crowd, where it's 20 minutes gone by, or we've got 2 minutes to go, and somebody on commentary had to fill that in after the fact, like, we're running down 60 minutes, and then just like hitting each other as the clock ran out. It was a bit anticlimactic. I can understand if that's why the crowd was booing. If the crowd, it was the same thing. You pay money for the pay-per-view when they have the rematch.
Right.
That's how it works with Punk and Darby. No, Cody and Darby had the time limit draw.
Oh, they did. Yeah, they did.
I wanted Punk and Darby to have it because Punk's been out of wrestling for 7 years, and Darby's like, he idles at 9,000 RPMs.
Yeah.
So I would have wanted that to be the draw for Punk to be like, fuck, I was not ready for this. I need to step my game up. And maybe even later on call it back if he decides to turn heel to beat the one guy that he couldn't beat.
Yeah.
And then didn't necessarily beat Punk, but Punk didn't have the satisfaction of beating him and bring that back around. But this is another example of people complaining about the time limit draw. I was like, all right, then book it. What do you do if Bryan Danielson wins?
Right.
You want another ex-WWE guy beating your homegrown AEW champ?
Yeah.
Okay, you want Omega to win. Then what? Bryan Danielson, why? What? Yeah. So what do you do? You complain, but you don't bring up the option. You don't bring another idea into it. You just want to complain for the sake of it.
Yeah.
And that's nah.
Which and they did the right thing here for basically almost the same type of scenario with Punk and Darby. It's. The only thing that was really different about it is that Punk called out Darby.
Yeah.
Bryan called out Kenny. So that's the big difference there. But other than that, it's almost the same situation where it's like, the big name free agent comes in and wants to take out one of your established stars, the guy from the other place, So I think this is what they should have done with Punk Darby. They didn't do it. We didn't get it. Okay, whatever. There's enough positive equity there that I can, move past it. Yeah. But okay, if you do that shit again for a second time, and they didn't do that shit again for a second time, they actually went with what would have been the best solution for either or.
The best scenario.
Yeah, the best scenario. So it worked. Porsche says the first sniff is free. Is that so?
Arnold mentioned this in the chat because a lot of people he also had a gripe with the finish. That is the same as a DQ. It doesn't matter. It doesn't. He just didn't like it. Do you think we should have in a promotion that boasts itself about realism and records and
Yeah.
sport.
Yeah.
Do you want to see more time limit draws rather than shitty Bullet Club DQ finishes?
Yes.
At least here in AEW.
I think there is a bit of a difference between a DQ and a time limit draw, because in a DQ, it's the heel had buddies and the buddies came in to help out the heel, and it resulted in a disqualification. Why? Because the heel couldn't get the job done on his own. So, it implies that if it wasn't for the disqualification, we know the babyface would win.
Yeah.
Right? But in a time limit draw, we don't really know who would have won anyway if we had given them an extra 5 minutes, or if it hadn't been, because it wasn't like a cheating thing where this guy needed to cheat to try to win or whatever. This is like they are both so evenly matched. Doesn't matter who's the heel or who's babyface. 20 minutes wasn't enough. 30 minutes wasn't enough. An hour wasn't enough. They went that full time, and I don't know who the implied winner is. A DQ, the person that got disqualified, is the implied loser, right? And the other guy's the implied winner. But sometimes it doesn't work out that way because shenanigans. No, time limit draw is not that.
And I think it builds excitement. I mean, prime example is the AEW audience shitting on Gallows and Anderson whenever they come out during the Bullet Club match to interfere. You see them, you already know that there's going to be some kind of bullshit or that there's going to be a disqualification. It drains the excitement from the finish of the match.
Yeah.
Just because you're counting down 15 minutes, 25 minutes, 28 minutes, that doesn't necessarily 8 minutes, 29 and a half.
Yeah.
You squeaked by. You almost got me, but the last minute, but you're like, the anticipation keeps growing at the 27th minute, 28th minute. Oh shit, here we go. We're counting down. And it just, I honestly would want to, especially in AEW, I would want to see a lot more time limit draws.
Yeah.
Because there are a lot of opportunities where you don't want to blow through stuff that quick. And it feels like if you would have gone either way with a unanimous winner, it would have taken away a lot of momentum from what you would see next.
Yeah.
Especially because it's one thing if you're going to give it away for free on TV instead of building for a pay-per-view. But this was their biggest audience that they've ever had.
Right.
It's kind of a big fucking deal. This is your one chance to get audience. And that's another positive that AEW is doing right now. You turn on Dynamite, Bryan Danielson, first person you see. Or you turn on Rampage, the first person you see, CM Punk.
Yeah.
And then goes to the commentary table, and then Adam Cole, and then Jungle Boy. It's like, shit. Like that hooks in your mouth within the first 30 seconds. Once the pyro goes off and you hear somebody's music, shit's about to go down.
Yeah.
I
tuned into the right show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot of good shit in these last 2 weeks of wrestling. Adam Cole,
baby,
and Jungle Boy put on a nice little match.
They did.
Devil It's Due. There was a lot of shitty finishes on fucking what was this last pay-per-view? Extreme Rules. Bianca Belair and Becky Lynch was a fucking banger.
Yeah.
I hated the ending.
What happened?
Sasha came back. She caused a DQ. DQ. Sound familiar? Yeah. She beat up Bianca Belair. And then Becky's like, so it's cool beans between you and me. Nah, Sasha beat the shit out of her too. So, again, Devil Is Due. We're getting a triple threat women's title match in Saudi.
Oh, okay.
It's a big fucking, remember, this Saudi. It's a big fucking deal. I honestly, as much as I'm digging Roman and Lesnar right now, you want to strike the iron while it's hot as far as the movement, that match ends that pay-per-view.
Oh man. Oh, man.
You want to ruffle some feathers? You want to make sure your plane don't leave for the next 5 days?
But
you make the statement that in a place that is that 2030 movement that the young Prince Salman is doing.
Yeah.
Hey, we're elevating women's rights. We're being equal here in Saudi Arabia. What better way to show that off with 3 of the best women WWE's got on their ticket, closing it out.
Porsche full track outfits for the ladies. Yes.
And so Sasha wrestled Bianca on Friday, and she was wearing like half lingerie from the waist down. I was like, there's no way she can get away with that in Saudi. All the
Now-
princes are going to be throwing money. I want her. I want her.
Now you're saying, oh, that'd be great. Ruffle some feathers, blah blah blah. You know who's not ruffling any feathers? Fucking Vince. That's not going to happen in Saudi because Vince
That
wants
last trip was an eye opener. They couldn't
and
leave.
he wants that continual Saudi money, so he's going to kiss the ass of the prince as much as he can. So doing something that controversial in Saudi Arabia, they're not going to do that shit.
Yeah.
They're not going to do that shit. I mean, you had a chance of doing that if this was somewhere here in the States, right? Even then, that'd be like, oh shit, triple threat women's matches ending, big pay-per-view. It's a big deal. I mean, when the girls did it at fucking WrestleMania, it was like, oh my God, ESPN had to cover the fact that there was a women's
both
match.
years.
Yeah.
Both years. The triple threat was with Ronda, and then this year with Bianca and Sasha.
And what I'm saying is that it's still fucking newsworthy, right? So it's not even normalized yet here in the States.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they're definitely not going to do that in Saudi. So put your excitement away. Put it away.
My match of the week pick is Kenny Omega versus Bryan Danielson.
The American Dragon.
Hi. Does that top the Young Bucks versus the Lucha Bros in what could be this best steel cage match in all of the wrestlings? One, two, three. Oh!
I wasn't expecting that. I thought
the first thing that popped into my head is Abel's gonna say, "What was that for? Nothing."
Well, I wouldn't. And that thought didn't enter my mind. But now that you mentioned it, yeah, what was that for? It was for nothing. It was for nothing. Nothing. In front of nobody.
It was a draw.
It was.
Yeah. It was a good AEW stamp of it's arrived in New York.
Yeah.
You know the saying, if you can make it in New York, you can make it anywhere. AEW went we're coming back, and they're here to stay.
I just think the match between the Bucks and Lucha Brothers was just more thrilling.
Yeah.
It was more indie-rific. And you know what? Sometimes indie-rific is okay. Sometimes
Arnold's
it's nice.
first stance would probably say this felt like a New Japan match, that it started off so slow.
It did.
That's not a complaint. But if you watch enough of the G1, you're gonna get the same match almost every fucking time.
And it did start off slow, but again, I was okay with it.
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't really have a nit to pick other than you asked me which is better between these two, and it's just gonna come down to gut feeling for me.
Yeah.
Gut feeling, I liked and I thought that the tag steel cage match was just prettier. Not saying
on
this
an already
pretty.
stacked card.
Yeah.
On their biggest show of the year.
Yeah. Not saying this match isn't pretty.
Yeah.
But it's like you're trying to get me to choose between a chocolate sprinkles cupcake and a fucking strawberry Neapolitan wedding cake. They're both fucking awesome, but which one will I go with? I don't know. Just fucking take me to the candy shop. I'll eat either one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wrestling is always for something. This is Porsche. The whole point of wrestling storyline wise is that they're going to get paid a winner's purse, whoever wins. If it's for a draw, that means they have to share the purse.
Yeah.
Thanks, Booker.
I remember those countless promos from The Fiend talking about purses and money and titles and losses and employment. But that's few and far between.
Well,
I get what you're
saying too. But yeah, that's Booker talking. That's not Porsche talking. That's Booker talking.
The triple threat for the women at Saudi is not the only women's match.
Oh, really?
Starting this coming week, they're bringing back the King of the Ring.
Are they now?
And they're introducing
the Queen of the Ring,
the Queen's Crown, which is the equivalent, but for the women.
Why are they calling it Queen's Crown and not Queen of the Wing? Oh, that's why. I just answered my own question. It's the Queen of the Wing. Queen of the Ring.
Say that 5 times fast.
Queen of the Ring, Queen of the Wing, Queen of the Wing, Queen of the Wing.
The main event, the finals of both of those tournaments are also going to be in Saudi.
So the Queen's
So the
Crown.
Two high-profile women's matches
Okay.
are going to be in Saudi
Okay.
on a Thursday. Yeah.
So they're doing King and Queen's Crown. They are doing both. Please tell me Xavier Woods is in the King of the Ring tournament.
The names haven't been announced officially, but since you like to pre-jack around here, HWR, give me your suggestion for a winner for both tournaments. Who could use that kind of boost?
Okay, well, I'll start with the King and just go Xavier. It needs to be Xavier. You gave Kofi his title push. You got Big E being the champ. Give Kofi something. And Xavier's been wanting this. Xavier's been talking about it forever, and like that's all he's ever wanted to do, just be King of the Ring, and that's it. Like you can satisfy him and his fan base just by giving him the King of the Ring, calling it a day. You don't have to worry about making all 3 members of the New Day fucking world champions. You don't have to worry about any of that stuff. It would be nice. But like you don't have to. Like if you don't have higher up plans, Vince, if you don't have higher up plans for Xavier, at least give him this. At least.
The only rebuttal that I can make, both as talent and as
King
the character
Xavier.
I see on the ring, is that his personality is suited to be a jester.
Xavier?
If the New Day together, they got drafted to SmackDown, Kofi's your king and Xavier's your jester. That's all Xavier's ever been. And to me, as much as I like Consequences Creed, that's all he's ever gonna be. This ain't fucking the Shield where everyone gets a run because everyone was in the cool group. No, I don't see it with Xavier.
But do you think King of the Ring is that big of a run? That's the thing. I don't think it's that big of a run. This is a notch below Intercontinental title as far as I'm concerned.
I'm not sure about that. I'm not sure. And even then, he hasn't even held the singles title.
That's what I'm saying. Just throw him the bone.
It would be easy for me to say to solidify King Nakamura with the winner of the tournament.
Okay.
It's easy to say that. So
yeah, Sheamus or Cesaro. You're the usual suspects when it comes to mid-carders with potential that haven't like made it all the way up. That purgatory that fucking Ziggler was in for years, and now he's out of the purgatory, and instead of going up, he went down. Right. So yeah, you can come up with your regular murderers row, the lineup of who you want to say. I don't think Xavier's in that. And if you want to put Xavier up there, give him this.
If I'm thinking as Vince McMahon, pal, oh, you're big. You're beefy. You're agile. You can move around. You just need a gimmick that I like because I don't speak German or I don't speak Austrian. I don't know what Ringkampf is. King Volta. Ah.
I mean, I guess. Sure. Why not? I don't know.
If Walter's big ass gets drafted in this draft in the second half.
Is Walter really that agile? I mean, he's got a good chop, but I don't know. I think Walter's overrated.
Execution by chop. Ah, ah, ah.
I don't know. I think Walter's overrated, man. I don't know.
For the ladies.
Man, I really don't know. You know what? I said that I haven't watched any WWE at all, and I lied. I take that back. Because Porsche will sometimes watch it. Like, I did catch a glimpse of Liv versus Carmella, where Carmella like was working this like don't mess up my face gimmick, and she put on the Corey's
slip dot mask. Yeah,
and I was like, I love it. I absolutely love this kind of old schoolish storyline. It kind of felt a little bit like Shawn Michaels and Rick Martel, like not the face, right? So she's like putting on this mask to wrestle it. Then she's gonna kick your ass. Street Fighter, you know, Vega was supposed to be this pretty boy, but he will kill you. He's like a mini boss in the fucking Street Fighter. He will kill you with the claws, but after he takes off the mask, he's a ladies' man. You know, like after she takes off the mask, she's the most beautiful woman in all WWE. Like I like the character, so you know what? Fuck it, give it to her.
To Carmella, you say to Carmella.
I'm
just gonna take a couple seconds to bask in the unknown of how we got there.
Okay.
But I am so happy that Liv is so fucking over right now with what is seemingly not a storyline.
Which is seemingly nothing.
It's just her putting in work, and
Yeah.
people are seeing it.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure if, because you got to understand with Vince McMahon, you're going to be running that king and queen gimmick. So if you,
that's the other thing too. Yeah.
So King Nakamura with the fucking King Starscream, you know, all that stuff, I can see it. You know, oh, you're agile, you're big and beefy. Now you're a bear cat. Maybe Keith Lee, but they're going to run with it. With the girls, if they're going to do that same shtick with like the crown and being all pretty, I could see why you would want somebody as materialistic and vain as Carmella to win it. I would like Liv to get the rub, but I don't want her to get saddled with whatever the fuck Kevin Dunn and Bruce Pritchard have in mind for the winner of the Women's Queen's Crown tournament, you know?
And that's kind of why I don't want it on Liv. I don't want it on Rhea. I don't want it on Nikki. Because it's always not. Maybe back in the day, it was the equivalent of, oh, fuck, you're like world champ if you win the King of the Ring or Queen of the Ring now. Mm-hmm. Like, it was up there. But to be honest, I stand by my statement saying it's a notch below your mid-card title. Yeah. So it's going to be something that's going to be good for somebody that's a mid-carder within the division. So a mid-card woman's thing would work. Now, I would be upset, but I wouldn't put it past them giving it to Charlotte.
Because it's obvious.
Yeah.
Right? And I wouldn't mind it either, especially if she's
mind it.
Even if it's double duty, if she's doing this, because there's two champs right now on SmackDown.
Yeah.
And she is not inserted in this feud with Becky, Bianca, and Sasha. So she could be in this tournament, and it would be fitting because this is her tournament, you know?
Because it gives her something to do while the other girls fight for the championship.
Especially if they want to go out of the box. And again, not to say this in a negative way, if you have a lot of vain, materialistic women, so you could give that to Charlotte as something to do.
But I think it's going to be too on the nose to give it to Charlotte because she already has a queen gimmick. But
do you want her in the title picture?
But then,
right off the bat?
Listen to what I'm saying. But then, let's say you do give it to fucking, I don't know, Zelina or just anybody else. You give it to anybody else other than Charlotte. Automatically, you're going to have a feud with Charlotte. Charlotte saying, I'm the real queen. And it's like, that storyline already just feels insufferable. Like, I just don't want that storyline going on where the Queen of the Ring actually gets the fucking crown. And then by default, because she calls herself the queen, she's from the Queen City. Now you got to fight Charlotte. It's like, no, please, no.
Can I make it a little less insufferable? My dark horse pick, because we still got the draft going on.
Okay.
And it would be pretty fitting and pretty interesting if we go that route.
Okay.
Frankie Monet. Her husband's on SmackDown.
Did she just get drafted to?
The draft's continuing on Monday, and they have drafted NXT people in this draft.
Are these tournaments open to NXT, or is it just
not necessarily? But
okay.
if you get drafted on this to the brand, I'm pretty sure they can find a spot to get you in. And Frankie Monet with the little dog, and she's got a little click already, and she's got the little pomp and circumstance entrance, a nice little camera view of the different camera shot for her entrance. Well, again, they could always change that shit as soon as they get to the main roster.
Yeah,
but
she's gonna be Frankie.
But Yo, Frankie.
Hey, what do you want? I'm walking in. Oh, Frankie.
Frankie could work, but it wouldn't. It would just be a very deafening eye roll if it was Charlotte winning. Yeah. Like, I get it, I guess, but
yeah.
And the finals for both of those they're probably going to end up in Saudi anyway. So that's your two high profile women's matches in a country that you can't really see most women. First impressions, the 2.0 of NXT. Give me some thumbs up first. What are you liking?
That new LED where they're putting on the different putting entrances. On the entrances and videos and stuff back there.
Logos and stuff.
I fucking love it. It's great. Love it. And this is going to be a little controversial. I actually like the color scheme. I really do. I like it. I mean, yeah, it's not the yellow and black anymore, but every so often you need to like redo your fucking colors or whatever. And I don't mind the color scheme. I don't mind it.
I don't mind the color scheme either in the aspect of optics. That's what you like to say. Optics. It's the word of the day. It was on my toilet paper. NXT felt very exclusive. You couldn't be a casual wrestling fan of WWE, Raw, or SmackDown, or Total Divas or Total Bellas and get NXT because NXT was 3D chess. It was black and gold.
Yeah.
You know?
Yellow.
And yellow. But it's all inclusive now. All new people, all new genres, open countries, openly gay. We have all this stuff going around. It's for everyone. The arena's lit so everyone can see all the empty seats. It's completely like it's open to anyone. Literally, we got more seats. Come on in, please. I like that aspect that it's a lot more presentable for somebody that wants to watch wrestling and get to know a bunch of new guys and girls. There's a lot of new guys and new girls. That's like 80% now. Are you like over congested, or is it too many at once? Or do you like the fact that you just woke up one day and it's a damn near brand new NXT?
So if it had just been a color scheme change, but it was still NXT that we've loved, right? Because I don't think there was anything wrong with NXT. I think this is one of those cases of if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And they're fixing something that they thought was broke, but it's not broke at all. They lost the Wednesday Night Wars. Yeah, but that's still the second best product on American TV.
It's a beautiful convertible, but the point I wanted was I needed a truck to move all this stuff. And I don't have a truck to move all this stuff. I have an awesome convertible, but I needed this new truck to move stuff. And that's what the original NXT, the NXT that we got from Triple H was. It wasn't developmental. It was competition to Ring of Honor, to Impact, to Lucha Underground. And then eventually the knockout blow from AEW.
Which they beat all of them. Except for AEW when you look at the ratings, and that's it. And I know ratings are fucking king, but at the same time, I don't think you needed a complete roster look and everything overhaul.
And ratings ratings shouldn't be the only caveat. Xbox One sells more Xboxes than PlayStation sells PlayStation 5s. They're both selling. They're both making money. Doesn't matter if one should it matter that much if one's making more than the other, as long as they're both successful. The NXT was selling out takeovers. They're selling out takeovers more than they were selling out WWE pay-per-views.
They're fucking selling merchandise.
Their merch was selling out.
Yeah,
and they were getting ratings still. You know, it wasn't a disappointment.
Yeah,
but because Vince felt that they were lesser than someone else, they decided to go to the idea that Vince McMahon always had, which is true developmental. It doesn't matter that you got a half a dozen guys that wrestled in the indie circuits for a long time, showed up to WWE and became great. Seth Rollins, Shinsuke Nakamura, Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn. Who else has won titles there? Dean Ambrose, you know?
Yeah.
Samoa Joe. No, it doesn't matter. They had the perception that they lost, and they completely went back to what I think Vince McMahon should have done, which I would have understood completely, but it would have been more salt in the wound. Just change it back to FCW.
Yeah, I guess. We'll see. Okay.
Because NXT, it feels like we're in the 90s and adding the word extreme to a show because it's different. Oh, it's NXT. It's NXT 2.0. Yeah, it's NXT 2.0. Hey, did you hear that promo about that wrestler talking about NXT 2.0?
Yeah.
It's so fucking desperate.
Yeah.
It seems desperate. If it's legit developmental, the 1-2 punch, change it to FCW, take it off of USA. Put it back on the network.
You know what? I don't think that you necessarily have to change anything to put more of a focus on developmental there. Because, while you had guys like Roddy and Adam Cole and Ciampa, you still kept Ciampa. You still kept Roddy. You got rid of Cole and you got rid of Fish.
Technically, you still had Joe.
And you still got Joe. So it's like, oh, we're getting rid of all the old guys so that we could get all this new talent. Well, you're not getting rid of all the old guys, so you're being a hypocrite.
Well, so you need some of the old guys because if the new guys wrestle the new guys all the time, somebody going to get fucked up.
I know, but
somebody's got to teach them how to lead.
My point is that they got rid of enough that they didn't need to do a complete overhaul and force it. They could have just said, hey, look, behind the scenes, we're going to kind of focus a little bit more on developing some people. So the guys that are like journeymen from the indie scene, you're still going to be there. You're still going to be welcome. We're still going to focus you. And if you get over, great, you're over. You're still going to have the same opportunities that this, 18-year-old kid who's treating this as college is, right?
Yeah.
But let it happen organically, because I think that you didn't need to do this big fucking change to change the fact that it's developmental. Because you know what? How many times have we sat here and had the discussion? Is NXT a third brand or is it developmental? And we're like, it's a third brand.
And then they turned the corner and joined Survivor Series and spanked them. And after that one instance, in the alternate timeline, NXT was a thing.
Yeah,
and now no one's titles reigns are acknowledged on the main roster.
Even then, it was still developmental. Yeah. Even then, it was like, well, they're still bringing in new people, trickling them in one by one, and then they get called up to the main roster. So it was never truly a third brand. Yeah. So what's the point of like gutting it and throwing new people in there, which I'm not hating on any of the new class.
Which we're about to get to in a minute.
Please don't get me wrong.
We're going to break down some of the new class.
Yeah, but what would happen, and this happened probably more with the women than it did with the guys in NXT, what would happen when 2 or 3 of the main girls get called up and we're like, oh man, the NXT women's division is fucking ruined. It's not going to be the same anymore.
Not getting más.
And what happens?
New girls.
They get over and they work. I never thought Raquel would have been as badass as she was, and she was badass. I would have never thought Dakota would have been as over. Shotzi, I was like, she's weird. Oh my god, I fucking love Shotzi. Go back even further. Whenever Sasha and the 4 horsewomen left, like, oh shit, the 4 horsewomen are gone. Then you got Alexa coming up, and then you got Asuka coming up, and then you got Baszler, like the next wave. There was always another wave.
Then Ember, then Io.
Yes. But it was always it always came in like 2s. Yeah. It didn't come in a whole fucking roster load. Yeah. Right? And they were in line. They essentially they weren't skipping the line and going ahead where all of a sudden here's a new guy 2 weeks and now he's challenging for the World Heavyweight Championship or NXT Championship, whatever you want to call it. So it's like, okay, you had the formula, all you need to do was tweak it, not throw the whole fucking cake out and start over again with a completely different recipe. Right? And that's what they're doing here. So if they had done what I'm suggesting to do and just change the fucking colors, I'd be like, okay, great.
And ditch the 2.0.
Ditch the 2.0 and ditch the fact that you're purposefully saying, well, we lost. And since we lost, we're going to take Triple H out of here, who was successful. We're going to get Triple H out of here and just redo all this shit in my image, in Vince's image, with a bunch of stupid fucking dumb gimmicks, because there's a lot of stupid fucking gimmicks.
So give me some that you do like.
I did.
New guys. New people that you like.
New guy.
We're breaking down the new class of Saved by the Bell.
New guy that I like. I like Baby Steiner.
Oh God, that's oh God.
I like his wrestling. I like his look. I just don't like the Braun Breaker.
So dumb. I get it now.
Braun Breaker.
Scott owns the copyright to the Steiner name, so you can't name the kid Steiner. Oh God, where are you going? Oh shit, where are you going? Oh, he's going to pick up the snacks.
I'm calling goldfishing.
Yeah. I like everything about Braun Breaker except the name Braun Breaker. Mm-hmm. That's it. The guy's got main event. Man, I'm going to get so much flack when I say this. He's the John Cena of this generation. And we're right in the cut.
What?
We're already we're like 3 weeks after Cena slapped Angle. This is where we're at with Braun Breaker.
You need some goldfish, sir.
I am loving me some Braun Breaker. He fits right in. Tribute to his dad with the singlet. Shout out on commentary. Vic's like, this kid's got a dog-faced gremlin look to him. You know, like they're dropping little shit even to go get around the fact, but and I'm not trying to turn everything into a negative here, but the point of business, Scott Steiner trademarked the last name to make some money. If Rex was in AEW, he'd be Rex Steiner. But since Vince wants full ownership of the name that he can trademark so that he can get all the royalties from it, he's going to give him the most asinine bullshit name that he has. Hopefully, in typical Vince McMahon fashion, he gets changed to something better when he comes to the main roster.
No, he's just going to be Braun.
Oh,
Which
didn't we have one of those already?
I know okay. Breaker is stupid. Don't get me wrong, but I think the part that I have the biggest beef with is Braun, because you just had a Braun, and Strowman's name being Braun was dumb. Oh, he's a big guy, so we're gonna call him Braun. Like, you really telling me that when he was a little baby, his mama named him Braun? No, his mama didn't name him Braun. Like, nobody had that foresight to name this kid Braun. Oh, and now you have another jacked up guy, and you're going to name him Braun? Now, I understand it's spelled a different way, right? It's a
B-R-O-N.
Yeah. And it's supposed to be short for his real name with Bronson or something like that, right? Or is that it? No, because his real name is Rex.
The actual last name is Rakesteiner. Rakestein. So that's
whatever.
how they came up with the
I don't know, but like, it's just, dude, if you're gonna have to, I understand the fucking legalities about, oh, you can't use this name versus that name, and I get it. You want to trademark somebody else's name, whatever. We could argue that back and forth as whether or not that's ethical or not when it comes to independent contractor. We could argue that. But I'm willing to set that aside because this is an argument that's been going on in wrestling ever since Vince has been doing this practice, right? So if we lay that to bed and we accept that is what it is. It is what it is. Okay, great. You're going to need to come up with a better name for a guy other than their trademark name that they should be. Okay, great. Come up with something better than Braun Breaker.
Let's stay on the up. Someone else that you like from the new class of Saved by the Bell.
I don't know if he actually counts as being part of a new class, because he was in the up and comers tournament.
Ooh, if you're saying who I think you're saying, I'm right there with you. Go for it.
The Australian dude, Duke Hudson.
Oh, Duke Hudson. I mentioned it from jump. That first week in that first round, that's got Vince McMahon's tongue all over it.
Bronson is his middle name. That's what it is. Yeah. For Brett Breaker.
For Rex Steiner.
Yeah. Bronson.
Sorry. Duke Hudson is a guy that Vince is gonna salivate over when he gets put up to the main roster.
I like his swag.
Thank you.
That's what I like about him. He just has this swagger about him that I just really, really dig. I don't know if I like him in ring quite yet because I don't feel like I've gotten enough to really sink my teeth into it. Like, he did in the tournament. But I mean, I don't know. The jury's out on that part of it. Is he really that good of a wrestler? But
he can talk on the mic. He's been on commentary, and he can talk.
He's got a good presentation. Yeah, you know. So I really like him.
I'm gonna follow your lead. This guy was also in the breakout tournament. He lost, but they paired him up with another kid.
All right,
and they're like this redneck APA now. I'm falling in very with both these kids. I forget what their name, Jensen and something. They had a promo last week. He's like, hey man, he's like, remember what I told you this morning? The first person that tries to get in my face and pisses me off, I'm gonna punch him in the mouth. Guess what? It's that guy. Bang! While everyone else is talking shit, they was so concise to the point. Yeah, had his little flair to it, and they went at it. And I'm liking that a lot. I'm liking both of those kids. The backstory or the origin story is that they show both of them. They have security camera footage of them at a bar, and for whatever reason, there's a miscommunication, and they start fighting each other at the bar. And then once they're done fighting each other, they go back to the bar and have drinks together.
Bull Buchanan's son. That's what Porsche says.
Bull Buchanan's son. And that's the other part. I'm gonna save till we get to the negative. Okay, because I don't want to go back and forth. I'm liking the kids, and then they go back to the bar and they're drinking together, and then they become pals, and all of a sudden we got the tag team, Jensen and whatever. Yeah. I'm liking those two kids a lot.
What about Odyssey? Do you count Odyssey as part of? Well, I mean, if we're gonna count Duke Hudson, you should count Odyssey.
I count him, but I wasn't my first choice because I've already been liking him.
Okay.
I personally already like him to the point that I'm already past it. He's already established to me.
He's not 2.0. He's 1.5.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. He was behind the last update.
Okay. Yeah.
Because in that case, fuck, dude, Carmelo and Trick are really coming around as a group.
I don't think I could take this dude seriously with him calling himself Trick and like.
You know about it.
I don't think I could take it seriously talking about Trick. I'm like.
Somebody, Portia, in the Google machine, find out if that dude Trick has any relation to Master P. Because Master P's a huge wrestling fan. He still is to this day. I think he runs a promotion somewhere, and you got kids, and when he does the about it, that's the first thing I go to. Fuck it, I'm gonna just say it out loud. Why are they trademark? I'm answering my own question, but why don't you take advantage of your second and third generation kids? There's at least 3 second generation wrestlers: Braun Breaker, the one that
Bobby Cannon's
kid, and Cal Bloom has a kid. His Vaughn
Matt Bloom's son. No?
It's not Matt Bloom. It's Cal Bloom.
Oh,
His
it's Matt was his
Von Wagner.
Matt was his uncle,
something like that.
Okay,
but that's another third and second generation kid, and they're just fucking like naming them the random generator 5000 Von
like
Wagner.
they did with fucking McGillicuddy.
Oh god, yeah.
I mean, to be fair, they did do the same thing with Bray, and they did do the same thing with Bo Dallas. So, and it worked out for them. One more than the other, but still.
I'm digging Kamea.
Who's Kamea?
The chick from Robert Stonebrand.
Okay.
There's a chick. I forget what the first name is, but her last name's Kamea. And the only reason I know her is from Kamehameha. Oh God. But that could get over. I'm liking her. Holy crap! Adding Mandy Rose to her own little Absolution group.
Yeah, that was really cool. I did like that.
The Mandy stuff with the Priscilla Kelly. Is it Priscilla Kelly?
I don't know.
Darby Allin's girlfriend, and then the other. I forgot who the other chick is.
Yeah.
There's a lot of potential there. Right now, NXT 2.0 is reminding me a little bit of like music. There's normally there's every once in a while there's like a Tuesday back in the day when new music came out on Tuesday. Now new music comes out on Friday, where it's like 6 of your favorite bands release a brand new CD on the same fucking day.
Yeah.
And you can't memorize the lyrics, or you can't get used to all the songs because I can't play this song anymore, this CD, because I got the other one. A couple weeks ago, I had Spirit Box, I had Turnstile, I had the new Thrice album, the new Daughtry album, new Candlebox album, all 5 in the same fucking weekend.
Damn.
And I still haven't even got through Candlebox yet because I'm backlogged with all this stuff. So it's hard for me to keep my attention on NXT 2.0 because there's so many new faces hitting you at once. It's like your first day at a brand new job. It's easy for the people that work there to memorize one new guy.
Yeah.
But you got to memorize 40 people's names. What the fuck?
Yeah.
That's NXT 2.0 right now.
Yeah.
There's probably a handful of more people in the new class that I like, and I can't pick out their names because there's so fucking many.
So Portia did do a little bit of Googling for you at your request. She says this: Trick is formerly Matrick Belton, a former college football / NFL player who worked at Indies before WWE signed him with the February WWE Performance Center class. Trick appeared on SmackDown earlier this year as one of Apollo Crews' elite Nigerian guards. And no, he's not related. You're just racist.
Oh, come on, man. Hit Row got called up.
Hero.
That's where I was about to say something racist. Because for once, somebody, it can't be Vince, somebody is telling Vince McMahon, hey, SmackDown's still on Fox. Everybody gets Fox. There's still a shit ton of people in 2021 of color that can't afford or don't have cable. So you need to top load Fox with some people of color so that we can get a lot more viewers. And they've added Kofi, they've added Xavier, and they've added Hit Row. All 4 of them to SmackDown. And I think that's a good call. I'm curious to, out of everybody, I'm curious to see how good BFAB does, because everybody else, it's easy for the guys to catch it, but
it's easy for the guys to half-ass the wrestling and still be over. Yeah.
But BFAB, I can't admit I got a crush on her. I'm liking her. She could flow. She could go.
I mean, she'd be bad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
BFAB is bad.
Yeah. I'm still giving NXT a chance.
Yeah.
There's enough equity and new investments that I will give it a shot to see where they take it. I'm curious to see how they go from here on, because I'm assuming we're supposed to get War Games in November, and then Only Lorcan got beat in like 3 minutes by some new kid. And people are dropping like flies, and then now the draft, people are going to get drafted up.
Yeah.
So Austin Theory got moved back up to Raw.
Really?
Yeah. Hit Row went to SmackDown. I think there were some supplementary picks after SmackDown.
And see, that's the other thing. I'm sorry to interrupt, but so this whole thing about them, repackaging, but then you keep Gargano. What do you do with the rest of the way, right? Like, to me, the stuff with Gargano, the stuff with Ciampa, the stuff with Diamond Mine, it almost seems hypocritical that you're keeping these folks and you're not moving them around if you're going to do a complete rehaul. But they've done a complete rehaul, but they're not rehauling that. So it's, I don't know, maybe it's the fucking ADD in me or something like that, where like, well, if you're going to completely do it, then completely do it. Because, you're completely redoing the brand and you've done 75%. That other 25, while I love that other 25 and I don't want you to kill it off, since you killed off the rest of it, bitch, you may as well kill it off. Like, why keep the way? Why keep Gargano? Why keep Ciampa? Why keep Roddy? I don't even like Roddy.
The only defense I can give to that is, if WWE is legit treating NXT like the minor leagues, you don't ever hear about minor league stacks when they move up to the NFL, Major League Baseball, stuff like that. So, and besides, I think this might not be a popular opinion. The whole house family stuff between Gargano and Candice LeRae and Index and Theory works so well. You got 3 weeks of storytelling before Austin Theory's gone. You can literally turn fucking LeRae and Gargano into the Foster house, and then just invite new people to the family, and then when they're ready to go, you just let them go on their own merry way. Yeah.
Leave Gargano and Ciampa as like the bosses of NXT.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess, but does that mean we'll never see Gargano and Ciampa up in the main roster?
Can we be that upset at it if they don't want to go?
No, I totally understand that.
Yeah. But it's
the
difference between seeing that opinion on WWE television and reading that opinion on a dirt sheet.
Yeah. So, okay, we're talking a lot about NXT just kind of getting bombarded and getting redone and people moving up and wrong with WWE as a whole. And AEW's been doing really well. And a lot of what AEW's been doing is they've been taking these people that have been released roster, and that's given AEW all this fucking momentum. But there is a little bit of this insidious story that's kind of lurking around the IWC, talking about
internet wrestling community.
Yes,
anyone that doesn't know.
Right. That there may be some backlash going back the other way. There may be some people that aren't happy at AEW that may want to get called up to the WWE, and namely, we're going to be talking a little bit about Cage. Brian, not Christian. Because you have to specify.
Yeah.
Brian Cage. Who
better?
Yeah. I don't.
Everybody, apparently.
I don't think Brian Cage himself has said, hey, I'm unhappy with AEW and I want to go to NXT. But Melissa has tweeted some kind of controversial stuff. And the internet wrestling community's denizens have kind of went and ran with it and have provided a kind of widespread conspiracy theory of all these people leaving, leaving WWE, going to AEW and thriving. Who would you like to see leave AEW and go to WWE and thrive? And time after time, the name keeps coming up: Brian Cage, Brian Cage, Brian Cage. So I kind of want to entertain that. First off, have you heard any of this scuttlebutt? No. Have you heard maybe of anybody else, or is this completely new?
It is. I haven't heard it specifically, but I did want to bring up. I didn't want to broach the topic of, how AEW fans still are going to have a lot more lust over people coming over from the outside as opposed to the people that they've been loving from the inside.
Mm-hmm.
CM Punk, cool. Brian Danielson, awesome. I still want to see Hangman and Omega.
Yeah,
that's my priority. I've invested a year into the storyline and a year and a half or 2 years into the character Hangman Adam Page. I want to see him.
Yeah.
Same thing with the women. Awesome, Ruby Riott, Ruby Soho, and the next crop of girls that come in. Thunder Rosa. Oh, I love her. It's awesome. I'm still Britt Baker.
Yeah.
I'm still Sheeta. You hate me, you say all you want. I still want Nyla.
Yeah.
But it's going to come to a point where if you keep focusing most of your airtime, like WCW did, on your Hogans, your Savages,
mm-hmm.
you're going to worry about
your
Paul White, your Chris Jericho, your Rey Mysterio, your Chris Benoit.
Yeah.
And I can see already, because this isn't the 90s anymore. Wrestling, for the most part, a lot of wrestling fans have that short attention span where, damn it, I want to see fucking Jungle Boy on WWE, or you know what? Mm-hmm. I haven't had my run. Brian Cage, he will be watered the fuck down in WWE, but he has a look, he has a presentation. At times he can cut a good promo. He has a look that people will like. He might be one of the first people that I would see going over to the other side if that becomes a thing where, oh look, AEW's got all these guys that they're training and they're not taking advantage of them, and we scoop up Darby, or we scoop up Jungle Boy, or we scoop up Cage, and that beats the momentum that turns the tide almost.
So now when I was reading all this, I'm like, okay, I could see the argument for Cage, right?
Yeah.
But I had a different thing in mind, and I may have even mentioned this kind of in passing on a past episode here, but what about Angelico and Evans? Because Angelico and Evans were the shit in Lucha Underground. We're like, oh, they're going to AEW.
Separately.
Hell yeah.
They were never a team. Angelico was riding with Son of Havoc and Ivelisse.
I think towards the very end they teamed up, didn't they? Towards the very end.
That last season, I don't even know if it counts.
Yeah. Well, but still, it was like, oh,
there are talents that we as wrestling fans know they should be doing a lot more than getting
hell. Even before Lucha Underground, fucking Evans was tearing it up in Mexico.
Yeah,
So I wonder. This is why I think it's a little bit more interesting to talk about them, because it's not like a plug and play with Brian Cage. Brian Cage, he'll be a little bit watered down going into WWE, but I think he could find success. Is the iron way too damn cold now for Evans and maybe even Angelico by association to go anywhere, whether it's WWE or anywhere?
Oh no, I could see. Oh my god, I'm gonna buzz Hector's nut here. You give me Takahashi versus Angelico at Wrestle Kingdom for the juniors title. They could fucking steal the goddamn show. There's and not in the US side. That's another problem for another day when he shows up. But New Japan could seriously use more lightweights, and Evans and Angelico separate or together as a juniors tag team.
Yeah,
dude, sometimes you just need a fresh paint of coat. You go somewhere else where no one's really too familiar with you, where you can steal the show and capture their attention.
Yeah,
and you can be money pretty quick out there. So there's still places. Brian Cage. Where else? He's already been Impact World Champ. He's already done the Lucha Underground stuff. He had the Thanos Gauntlet for a minute. Mm-hmm. He did some good stuff in AEW. He showed up at the fucking Casino ladder match a couple of years ago. Where else would he go but WWE, at least just to try it.
Yeah.
But right now, the climate of pro wrestling, that WWE's other fault is that they failed to capitalize because of NXT. Nakamura should have debuted on NXT. Samoa Joe should have debuted on WWE.
And see how, this is the other question. How does WWE actually handle that? People defecting that are established going to WWE. Do you throw them in NXT? Or is NXT now legit developmental for the young boys, the young boys, the early 20s and shit like that? Or do you get people that have been out in the indies that are probably in their early 30s to mid 30s who
have television exposure on a rival channel
that you could probably throw on TV and then get that fucking pop like the CM Punk pop,
like AJ at the Rumble.
Yeah, like
Austin Aries that NXT weekend.
Do you do that?
For their interest, I sure as fuck hope they do, because that was one of the highlights of the Monday Night Wars, who jumped over from WWE to WCW, who went the other way, with
so is the days of like bringing in big names and throwing them on NXT over?
I would hope so.
Okay.
Yeah, I definitely would hope so. But that also depends. That's where I kind of feel like that catch-22 where
Porsche put big ass spoilers in the live chat.
That's where I feel like the catch-22.
Wait, did this happen on Friday, Porsche?
I'll get there. We'll get there in a second.
Okay.
That's where I feel like the catch-22 is coming in, where you bring in guys like Punk, like Bryan, maybe like Bray Wyatt, that will teach these guys to slow down a bit to where they can do a WWE style because they've worked with WWE talent.
But do we want to see that?
So that they can go over there.
Do we want to see a WWE style? Do we?
That's why I asked you. Do you want to see a WWE style on Dynamite, on Rampage, and All Out? Or do you want to see an AEW style on Raw, on SmackDown?
Yes.
Once Vince is dead.
Maybe. No, see, okay. Well, I think a lot of what WWE's problem is booking and creative. Not necessarily in between the bells, although that is a problem. The talent. But I think it's a separate problem, right? Yeah. Like, because there's so many things wrong. What would you fix first, right? And I think, I don't know if you heard this, right? But I heard this after Kenny versus Bryan. Bryan did like an interview or was one of the media scrums, because AEW likes doing the media scrums, which I don't mind. I think they're kind of cool. Yeah.
Again, another aspect of actual sport.
Right.
Yeah.
But somebody had brought up the topic of, hey, you did cattle mutilation. Oh, that's cool. You haven't done that in a while.
Oh, I heard this.
Yeah, he said that he hadn't done cattle mutilation on WWE because it obscures his face while he's applying the hold. And WWE says, well, if you can't see your face, then you can't use the move, which I kind of get it because they're wrestling for TV, but at the same time, you're wrestling for TV, but it still looks like a cool move. Do you necessarily need to see the
half-assed excuse because WWE's got at least a half dozen cameras on the floor and the hard cam. You could easily even do a double shot of Bryan. You can see Bryan Danielson if he arches himself enough. You can see his face.
Yeah.
You can have the picture-in-picture of seeing Bryan Danielson aggressively trying to put the hold and his opponent trying to struggle to get the fuck out of it. Or you can go back and forth between the shots. I feel like that's a lazy excuse.
Well,
nonetheless, not that it's Bryan's fault, but that they're giving him why he can't.
Nonetheless, it's still something that he has been told, and that's something that kind of stifles, and it kind of shows the mindset of WWE. They take away things that they think are less than perfect instead of working with it. Right? Yeah. They're like, this isn't perfect for what we're trying to do. Perfect for TV. Since it's less than perfect, you completely axe it instead of working around it or trying to find a way to make it work. Or
Heyman will find a positive out of the negative.
Yeah. So, yeah, I don't know, but I forget what my initial point was to all this. I think it was like, what do you actually fix? And I think, yeah, that's what my initial point was. What do you actually fix, right? while I think that is a problem, the wrestling, the moves, the stuff that you could do, the style of match is a problem in WWE. I think that might be like 33 to 40% of the problem. The rest of the problem is your inconsistent booking, your lack of continuity, your shit storylines. And that's something that you have to fix, and that's something that they did work on in NXT. NXT still sometimes had that sports entertainment style of wrestling, but they had the great storyline of not necessarily main roster WWE. Now, yeah, some of the matches could get a little flippy-dippy-esque, but they're never full-on indie-rific. Yeah. They're never 100% that way. And I think that's what I would like to see in WWE, right? Mm-hmm. Now, if I could wave a magic wand and fix all of it, then I would have 2 AEWs.
Or just have one massive AEW.
Yeah. Ooh. That's one massive AEW.
Yeah,
that. Right.
Would you be watching AEW 5 days a week?
God damn, I don't know. I think this is why they are canceling Total Bellas. Brian will not appear, and I won't watch. All right. Yeah.
So what was the spoiler?
Orange beat Angelico, lost his hair.
Evans. I saw the match.
Evans. Yeah. Sorry, my bad. Not Angelico.
Yeah,
Evans.
It happened Friday.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So Jack Evans is just changing up his look a little bit. I wonder if he's trying to do that to garner a little bit of attention, maybe do a bit of a rebranding. Because, I mean, he has been stale the last, 3 years that he's been in AEW. It's like, oh, fuck yeah, they're going to have Angelico and Evans? Yeah.
I know it.
And they haven't done anything. Yeah.
Well, they've done stuff. But you're not gonna
nothing of importance.
But you're not gonna go on Dark, or you're not gonna go on White, or you're not gonna go on Red, or whatever all these other shows they have on YouTube.
Yeah,
you're not going on there. It's Wednesday or Friday.
Yeah.
So
they haven't done anything that was of relevance that like, oh, they're over, right?
Yeah.
So losing his hair, maybe that'll lead to some other type of change. You think? Maybe should I care? Should I care yet?
Not right now.
Not right now.
Not
okay.
Right now.
But yay, Orange.
Dynamite's this week. 8-man tag. Bryan Danielson,
mm-hmm.
Christian Cage,
mm-hmm.
Jungle Boy,
mm-hmm.
Luchasaurus,
mm-hmm.
against Kenny Omega,
mm-hmm.
the Young Bucks,
mm-hmm.
and Adam Cole.
Baby.
Number
9.
What's keeping you?
I'd rather not answer that question. I'd rather answer the question of why the hell are you all the way at a 9?
Okay, why are you all the way at a 9?
Well, again, thank you. If this was WWE and it was just a random 8-man tag with people that have been kind of feuding with each other, I'd be at like a 5 or a 6 because like we've seen this shit in WWE forever, and the match is going to be like 15 minutes. Everybody's going to get one little spot, and these are all like your top guys, but they're going to fall to one finisher. Where if it was one-on-one, they kick out of like 3 or 4 and signature moves, and it's just unrealistic and it's bullshit and it just sucks, right? But because of what I've seen so far in AEW with these multi-man matches, that and actually I forgot to mention this. There was pretty good matches there. The 6-man tag I really liked was oh shit, I already forgot who it is now. Remember, I talked about it in the live chat. I was like,
Cole tag. And the Bucks.
Cole and the Bucks.
Christian Cage and Luchasaurus, Jurassic Express.
Right. I thought that was a fucking phenomenal match. I thought it was really great. And then, was it you or was it Arnold said, no, I like the 8-man tag. And I was like, wait, 8-man tag? I was like, wait, you're telling me that there was 2 multi-man matches in one fucking show that were both really good, that neither one made me go like, oh, bullshit, lazy fucking booking, multi-man matches, throwing everyone together. As much as I want to bitch about...
They're building equity with you.
They're building equity, and as much as I want to bitch about, man, there's too many fucking factions in AEW. I've kind of gotten used to it, and it lends itself to do these kind of like multi-man matches, but also these storylines that involve the other members of the fucking faction, where you don't have to have rematch after rematch after rematch after rematch.
Oh, you mean SmackDown?
Exactly, for the pay-per-view, because you can have other members in the group fighting off against each other in different combinations, and the matches themselves aren't just like 15 minutes, let's just rush through it. They wind up being something pretty entertaining and pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I'm at a 9. Whereas normally I'd be at like a fucking 5 or a 6 for something like this.
I am also at a 9, but more pessimistic.
Okay.
The reason I'm not at a 10, well, and again,
Chris, why are you not at a 10 for this match?
Again, in pro wrestling, the story's always, every episode is a different chapter of the story.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to be at the part of the story that we're not at yet. So right now I'm at a 9. Right now it feels like Adam Cole is secondary when he should definitely be a primary. 6 months from now, when the Super Click against the Elite, or a Super Click against the Bullet Club, where Adam Cole's the primary, everything he touches is going to be an 11.
So,
but right now I'm at a 9 because
Okay.
Adam Cole, I still think of Undisputed, and he's the big fish, you know, and now he's like the little fish, where you can easily give me Adam Cole and Omega, and also Blood and Sperm to watch that in person. But right now we're not there at the story yet. We're catching up so that everybody else can join the story together.
Chris.
Not mixed together.
Chris. You have to savor it. Savor it. Because why? You got to establish the fact that for the people that don't really didn't watch AEW before AEW was a thing, i.e., the Bullet Club in New Japan. People that didn't watch that. People that didn't know that Adam Cole was the leader of the Bullet Club, handed it over to Kenny. They didn't know any of that shit, but they're still besties. They didn't watch Being the Elite where they killed off Adam Cole. They didn't watch the Being the Elite where they had a seance to bring back Adam Cole. The people that don't know that while these both are main event level stars and both can be the leader of the faction, you need to establish that shit. We got Farouk and we got The Rock before, or we got The Rock as The Rock and not Rocky Maivia. So you could easily just go into Farouk versus The Rock. But no, the reason why Farouk versus The Rock worked was because you had months, if not a year, of the tension building up. Yeah. Where Rocky Maivia was coming into his own, being The Rock.
And you could see him looking at Farouk like,
yeah.
This bitch.
And he was leading the group better than the leader was leading the group.
Yeah.
Oh, you gotta savor that. You gotta establish he's the leader. He's just as good a wrestler as the leader. You know what? Maybe he should be the leader. Maybe the rest of the Super Click, maybe they're gonna have they're gonna switch sides.
Adam Cole's the leader. He doesn't look like all the other beans.
Yeah, you gotta let that. You gotta let that out.
You're waiting for it.
Oh, I'm eating it up.
And it's AEW. They will stretch it out.
Every time Adam Cole is cordial to Kenny Omega, genuinely, I'm like,
you're waiting for it.
Oh man, this is good. And I'm waiting for it. When I wait for it and it doesn't happen, I'm like, oh. Now, with the Dark Order, is what we're gonna see with the Elite / Super Click 12 months from now.
Yeah.
Except the end of the story is gonna be different. The Dark Order, they had this fucking rift that's building and building and you know what? Anna Jay and Ty Conti brought them back together. No, it was Mama Brody that brought them back together. No, it was -1 that brought them back together.
30 seconds. I shed a tear in that moment.
Yeah.
In his dad's hometown.
Yes.
He threw the fucking papers at fucking.
Yes.
Oh my God.
That worked so well. But we're going to have the opposite of that 12 months from now, 9 months from now, between the Elite and the Super Click. Oh, man.
Bullet Club and the Super Click.
Whatever the fuck they wind up calling. Because you can metamorphosize this into any way you want.
The Elite will always be Omega and the Bucks. So
you could have the
Leonard, it's Super Click against whatever Omega wants to do.
So they could be the Super Click. They could be the new Bullet Club. They could be the Elite Red and Black for all I care. Whatever they wind up metamorphosizing into, this story is going to be good. And we're going to get to see Kenny versus Adam Cole at the top of their games for the top of superiority for the top faction in the top wrestling promotion.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be good.
Who you got winning?
Porsche said that's the same face you have when you get cookies.
Oh my God. Fucking Scott. Turn me on to this new thing.
Yeah. What is it? Why?
Mini oatmeal chocolate chip cookies from Potbelly.
Oh.
He had a bag at the last time I went to
Okay.
his house, and he offered me a couple. I was like, oh my God. And so there's a Potbelly by where I work out there in Baybrook Mall, and I went on a Wednesday or a Thursday during my lunch break.
Yeah.
But I took a late lunch. I walk in, I smell something familiar. And then I walk up to the counter, and this nice woman, she had just pulled out a pan of 24 mini cookies from the oven.
Oh, my.
And so I got a bag fresh.
Oh.
I almost couldn't go back to work. I couldn't get out of the car with the erection I had.
Oh,
these goddamn cookies.
Hi.
So it's going to be a weekly thing now where I'm going to have to go to Potbelly sometime during the week. Oh, my God, those cookies.
I'll see your Potbelly, and I'll raise you Crumble.
Oh, shit, Crumble. Oh, there's one right here in Pasadena.
Oh,
on
there
the Beltway.
There
is? In Fairmont.
Oh my God, really?
Dude, we went the opening weekend, and it's like they fucking measure every cookie, every ounce of dough to make sure that it's like the 1 pound or whatever it is. Oh,
see, I discovered
my teeth rattled after biting into that cookies and cream. Oh,
I discovered that in Austin the past weekend when I was there for the wedding, because when we had our dinner where we were getting together, it wasn't the reception dinner, it was just a dinner the day before everything went down. Next to where we were was a Crumble. I'm like, oh, what's Crumble? And the groom was like, Abel, you got to try this place. Okay.
They rotate every week.
Yes, they rotate the different cookies. And I was like, man, I'm really jealous that there's not one in Houston. Thursday, or was it Friday? I don't know. End of this past week, we found fucking Crumble, not the one in Pasadena like you're talking about. I didn't know there was one in Pasadena. This one's more in Bel Air.
Yeah.
It's closer to me. So I went over there and we're like, oh, wait a second. The menu's a little bit different. That's when I figured out that they rotate the different types of. I was like, oh my G, holy shit. And those cookies were legit, every single one. So in Austin, I had a churro one that had like this cinnamon fucking frosting on top. Oh, so good.
Look what you made us do for us.
The one here, we had one that was a pecan praline.
Oh,
dude.
Did you see what happened?
Dude.
You distracted me so much I couldn't put the damn goldfish in my mouth.
You missed.
I missed.
It's like, I don't want this fucking goldfish. Give me a cookie.
Let it go.
Yeah.
Oh,
all right.
God.
Oh, man. I'm sorry. Yes.
Who's winning the 8-man tag?
The faces.
I have the heels.
Okay, cool. Doesn't matter.
Sammy Guevara is defending the TNT title.
Can I say match of the week candidate?
Yes.
Miro versus Sammy Guevara.
Mm-hmm.
That was really, really good. I think what made it better than what it was the fact that there was a big title change at the end. I don't think that it was the in-ring, the between the bells was as good as Bryan Danielson versus Kenny Omega, and definitely not as good as the tag cage match that we were talking about earlier. But it was good enough to be match of the week candidate worthy.
It would have been a pick if it wasn't for.
What put it over the edge for me was the big fucking title change, which I actually didn't see coming. I thought he was just going to steamroll through Sammy and just continue the storyline with Sammy and friends versus Miro. But when you think about it, hindsight being 2020, it's like, well, what would have been the continuation with Sammy and friends versus Miro? Because Sammy ran out of friends. He beat all of them. Yeah. So yeah. Sammy winning.
I didn't get a chance to watch the whole episode. I saw the first half, but I saw clips online. I think what made this match bigger, and this isn't a negative, just an observation. Everyone in that crowd and the commentary team were putting over that was Brody's title in Brody's hometown. So to see an up-and-comer win it, instead of the heel that they've been booking him as a fucking monster heel, finally, they're booing Miro instead of cheering him. I think that was the icing on the cake of how an audience can make a good match great, and a great match memorable.
Spectacular. Yeah.
So Sammy Guevara is defending it in an open challenge request from Bobby Fish.
Yeah. So Bobby Fish and Adam Cole, baby, are going to be on the same fucking card out the same night in AEW. Hold on. Before we jump to that, there is one thing that I do want to mention about Miro versus Sammy Guevara. Now, I think Miro has been away from WWE long enough to kind of somewhat get the stink off of him, the WWE feel. But I'm sure there's still some people that the smell is still lingering. So there's still some people that would be like, oh, yeah, they're just taking all the ex-WWE guys and putting them over. Well, if you wanted to put your money where your mouth is, if you were AEW, this was the exact right call to make to show, no, we're not going to favor the guys that we get from somewhere else. Boom, we're putting it on who one of the guys that MJF said earlier in the night was one of the young pillars of AEW, being Sammy Guevara. Put that fucking title on him. Boom. That's your counter argument. That's AEW's counter argument to the IWC that are criticizing them, saying, "Oh, we're just bringing in the guys from WWE and you're just putting them over." Nope. Look at Sammy. Sammy beat fucking Rusev.
Machka.
Yeah. No, and it won a title in a main event. And yeah. Sorry.
Guevara versus Fish.
Mm-hmm.
Give me a number.
9.5.
Ooh.
What's keeping me?
What's keeping you from a 10?
What's keeping me is the unknown about Fish. Because while I've been watching NXT, I know about the Undisputed Era. I know the Undisputed Era broke up. Fish was gone for a lot of that. Mm-hmm. And Fish was never the focal point. Fish was kind of, and I going back to ROH days, Red Dragon days, even after Red Dragon when he was, fighting for the ROH title. I know who the fuck a Bobby Fish is from there. I don't know what a Bobby Fish in AEW and in 2021 looks like. Yeah. I don't know. So I'm not sure what I'm getting, and I'm not sure if this is going to be Bobby Fish going up there with Kenny, going up there with fucking Danielson, going up there with the main event, or if this is going to be Bobby going down here to, fucking Angelico.
Yeah.
Or is it going to be somewhere in the middle, like Miro? I don't know. And I don't know what we're getting from him. That's the only reason why I'm a little bit apprehensive. Half a point of apprehension.
I'm at a generous 8, and part of that is to follow on what you mentioned. I don't think Bobby Fish has ever had enough time as a singles wrestler for me to make up my mind about Bobby Fish as a singles wrestler. I see them in Red Dragon, and all credit to fucking to Bobby Fish. Kylo's personality, Kylo's presence, Kylo's look, Kylo's moveset has always been the standout. Not really Bobby Fish. So I'm curious to see what Bobby Fish can bring to the table that either I haven't seen or I didn't remember,
or if he's going to reinvent himself.
Yes, or if he's going to just get beat in 6 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah. Who do you got winning?
Oh, Sammy, without a doubt,
Sammy. Yeah. Which again lends more argument to. Look, we're not just signing the guys from outside and are just lusting over the outside people. We're going to build our stars. And Sammy gets a big win over Bobby Fish. That's makes your argument stronger.
Casino ladder match for a world title shot.
All right. Who's in that?
Pac.
Okay.
Andrade.
Uh-huh.
Moxley. Archer. Orange Cassidy. Matt Hardy. And question mark.
Oh, fuck.
Winner gets a shot at the world title. Who can it be now?
Anticipation level.
Number.
I'm already intrigued. I'm going to go with an 8. And a lot of that 8 is just looking at on paper. These guys, they all seem like they could go. But I have difficulty reconciling the multiple matches that always happen to pop up that circumvent
the record.
AEW's record system, right?
Mhm.
So, somebody that we just signed is going to be a mystery entrant, and that mystery entrant, we're going to give him a world title shot. I'm almost sure that I'm trying to search in my brain, and I don't know who.
I'll make it easy on you.
Okay.
It's not the question mark.
Okay. Then 10. All right, you're at 10.
Hangman's winning this.
Hangman's the question mark.
It has to be. He fell out of the rankings. He's no longer number one. What better way to put him back in the title picture by having him win this guaranteed title shot? I'm not saying it has to be Hangman, but let's just look at the list. Kenny and Pac.
We've seen that. I want to see it again.
Kenny and Idolo.
That'd be pretty cool. But I don't know if it's Andrade's time.
Triple Mania. I've seen it. They've already wrestled for the AAA title.
That's true.
Kenny and Moxley. Kenny and Archer.
That would be interesting. I think Archer should get his shot against Kenny at some point. But an Archer face? I mean, he's still coming out and just beating up randos. That doesn't seem very face-like. And he's with fucking Jake the Snake as his mouthpiece.
Kenny's got plenty of randos to feed Archer.
You know what? That's true. Fucking knock and Cutler.
And as a rebuttal to your comment earlier, the rankings, they normally tend to save those number one the number one contenders in the rankings for the actual pay-per-views. These little mom and pop random matches that they have on Dynamite, those world title shots are actually on Dynamite.
Okay.
So
that's fair.
I don't mind seeing Archer and fucking Kenny for the title on a main event of Dynamite just to see, you know. But would I like it to be fucking Hangman?
Yeah.
Kenny versus Cassidy. They teased that in a Dynamite before a pay-per-view.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that I just don't know if Cassidy's there. You know?
Yeah. Kenny versus Matt Hardy?
No.
Hangman's off the table. Who would you want your question mark to be?
Well, I was first trying to rack my brain. Well, who is it that they haven't signed that would be, oh my God? And I mean,
Wyndham?
Yeah. That's who immediately it goes to. It goes to Wyndham. And see, that's the problem with. I'm glad that they passed on signing Braun Strowman, right? Mm-hmm. I'm glad that they did because it would be like, okay, yeah, you're signing too many of the
WWE's everybody.
WWE's rejects, and it just makes it seem like you're just hungry for WWE's rejects, and makes it look like you're just a money mark, right? Yeah. So I'm glad that they didn't get Braun. But what do you do with Bray Wyatt, Wyndham, whatever, like Rotunda? What do you do with this guy? Like, do you go ahead and take a chance and sign him? And if you do sign him, are you going to follow the same formula as you did with Punk, as you did with Bryan? You know, it's like show up, boom, world title shot. You know, man, I don't know. I'm kind of like at the point where like, all right, y'all need to pace yourselves. Don't sign him yet. If you're gonna sign him, let it fester a little bit, because you've had Cole, Punk, American Dragon all back to back. Ruby also in there. So many people now. Fish, shit. Like the
Fish
more
isn't signed.
Well, but the more you think about
optics,
it, the more you think about it, the more like holy shit, you know.
Yeah.
So it's like, do you really do that? Like, I mean, do I want to see him gainfully employed? Yeah. But man, you gotta slow down at the buffet line sometimes, you know. What? But then I was trying to think, who the fuck else could it be that's unsigned that left? I mean, Buddy Murphy. Yeah, exactly.
You already have a Kenny Omega. You don't get the Valley brand Kenny Omega, which is what WWE turned Murphy into.
Yeah. Not
that I'm complaining, because Murphy and Alexander for that
Daniel wasn't
title.
Daniel wasn't a title shot. You're right, Porsche.
Yeah.
Wyndham doesn't get free until October 29th.
Yeah.
October 29th is when.
Man, I just
Rotunda.
I just had the again, AEW needs to sign me for something. I just the storyline just completely popped into my head with Rotunda. He can be the he could be the rotted end of the family tree. He has his father who gave himself up to the sin of greed, and it ruined his career, it ruined his life. And then my brother, my sibling, went for the sin of popularity because he just wanted everyone to believe. And look, and it ended his career, it ended his life. And I'm at the other end of the tree that's rotting, that's festering, that's waiting to die. And you just see him like start to change into the, oh my God. Yeah, that's it. I mean, yeah, I've been writing a lot of dark shit lately, and I just popped them out of nowhere. If it isn't Rotunda, who do I think would be the random person?
Is there a chance that it could be
Punk or Brian?
No, that it's oh shit, now you got me losing his name. Christopher Daniels making a return. No?
No.
Okay. Because Christopher Daniels been gone, but he was supposed to be retired. But
he returned to Impact.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. There's people that I would like to see in this position, but it won't make sense.
Okay.
You know, I need more Ricky Starks in my life every week.
Oh, but Ricky's still out with injury, right?
Ricky's the champ, fool.
But he's injured.
Oh, he's an FTW champ. Yeah, no, he returned.
He already returned?
Yeah,
oh, okay.
He's back. But heel versus heel wouldn't make sense. Okay. Somebody from Dark Order? No.
I mean, could it be Jungle Boy?
He's already on this card.
Yeah, I don't know.
But I want to watch it. Serena Deeb against Hikaru Shida.
7. I probably would be at like a 5 if it wasn't for the nice little video package that they put together for him. It made me care a little bit more about it.
She's chasing win number 50 in AEW.
Yeah, it did make it seem like a little like if this was WWE, I'd be like, who the fuck cares? But since it's AEW and it's the wins matter, I'm like, oh, good, you're actually focusing on somebody who's getting 50 wins. Okay, good job.
Women.
Yeah, but I don't know if I buy that Serena Deeb is going to be the one that like prevents her from getting the 50th win. It's like, come on.
Yeah, that's Dynamite in a nutshell. I didn't even bother to look up NXT. We're going to end the show on a downer.
Oh, no.
You have homework.
Me?
Yes.
Why?
Because the next time we record, the first thing I'm going to ask you is what you thought of the finish to Roman Reigns versus the Demon, Finn Balor.
So I didn't see it, but I heard about it. And for the way people described it to me, they either described it to me incomplete or it's completely fucking stupid. So, like,
which would you think it is?
I think it's just completely fucking stupid.
Okay, so why don't you tell the audience what your idea, what
my version of the way I understand it? Yes. The way I understand it is that the Fiend tried to get a jump on Roman. The Fiend, the Demon tried to get the jump on Roman by trying to start the match off too quick. Got up on the top rope right when the bell rang. When he was up on the top rope, somehow Heyman fucked up the top rope and he fell. And when he fell, Roman covered him. 1, 2, 3. That was it. The match wasn't even that long. I don't know
who tells you stories, but that's way off.
That's way off?
Yes.
Okay.
So what happened was this match is going on.
So it was a full-length match?
It's a good match. It's a great match. It would have been on my Match of the Week candidates list.
Oh, okay. See, I thought all this happened right at the beginning of the match. Oh, okay.
The match is going on. And there's interference with the Usos.
Okay.
And at one point, Finn's laid out. And then his music hits.
Okay.
And he starts convulsing to the beat.
So it was just Finn. It wasn't the Demon.
It was it was a demon.
But I mean, before.
No, all this is a demon.
The whole time it's been the demon.
The whole time it's been the demon. And he's been beat down. And then his music is playing and he's convulsing. He's coming back to life. And then in the part of the theme song where it goes, Finn stands up and he hulks up. He's ready to go. He's fighting everybody off. there's an awesome spot where where there's a table laid out, but like lengthwise, and he like missile drop kicks Roman, and Roman leaps in the air and flies through the table. It's a cool spot. And Fiend's like, Demon Finn's about to like win this match. He rolls Roman back in. He goes to the top rope for the coup de grace. The top rope buckle breaks, and he just falls down. Oh, by the way, during this Hulk up, the room is red. That when he grabbed his knee, it was almost like the record was playing, and then it was like that record screech when he stopped the record. The lights turned back on to normal. By the time Finn stands up, Roman gives him a spear. 1, 2, 3. It's done. They cut the promo on Friday that about God saved him from the demon, and because he's always pointing it because he's the one.
Oh, because he's God's favorite champion
now, or something like that. So they try to do something to cover it up, but in the moment when you're watching, it's like another difference between WWE and another promotion, because you have the possibility to make something different to surprise fans, to actually get them talking about in a positive light. Holy crap, the Demon beat Roman. Regular Finn loses the belt in 2 weeks, or they make a triple threat in Saudi and he dies. Who cares? You at least got people talking. It's like, oh my God, WWE, did you see the Demon's now the champ again? Instead, they do this weird ass fucking booking to like something completely stupid that almost completely killed my perception of the Demon from here on out. It was god awful. And I've been watching enough of that pay-per-view. I didn't notice wrestlers doing crazy spots on that buckle. I didn't hear the announce team claiming that there's been a lot of stuff that happened on that side of the ring. Nothing to justify how that finish of that match.
So happened. Heyman didn't fuck with it?
No, I didn't see it. They didn't show it. Yeah.
Okay.
So it was just him up there waiting to do it when the thing fucking broke. It was so dumb. And everyone was talking.
And it was a work, right? It wasn't like the top rope accidentally broke.
It was a work. Like
it was a work.
They gimmicked it to where it broke.
Okay.
Oh man, at Facebook, Twitter, everybody completely shat on it. And then Arnold shared that meme, that meme on our chat of it was Finn Balor's big dick weight.
Yes.
Buckle break.
Oh man, I mean that's a lot of meat though.
You would have to, but for context, watch the entire match. It's a good match.
Okay.
But almost that entire pay-per-view was riddled with shitty finishes to save wrestlers' momentum or status or whatever, because there was a lot of shitty booking finishes in that match, like with the whole Sasha coming in and causing the DQ, and then the Finn turnbuckle break. It was dumb. There was a lot of dumb shit. But all
right, I'm glad I didn't watch it.
You want to tell them where you're going to be in the next few weeks?
I was having the time of my life in Austin, fucking wedding that
shooting
weekend.
Guns and eating cookies.
Yeah, shooting guns, eating cookies, and watching one of my best friends get married. Okay. The 9th, so this upcoming Saturday, down in Santa Fe, Texas, we are going to have UPW. We are going to have a cage match.
Ooh.
It's a rematch for the tag team championship. It's the Mayhem Mafia versus Los Mas Cabrones. Los Mas Cabrones just lost the titles to the Mayhem Mafia, so they're getting a rematch automatically into the steel cage. So make sure you come out to that. Your boy is going to be ring announcing. And then the following weekend, UPW for the first time is going to have a show in Pasadena, Texas, at the Knights of the Columbus building right off of Preston. So make sure you come out there. And also that same week, your boy's going to be ring announcing that one too. So I'm ring announcing UPW both weekends. But also on the 16th, there's a conflict there. If you're going to be out more towards Katy, DZW is going to have their show still out in Brookshire, Texas at the Hangar Unity Center. If comedy wrestling is more your speed, our friend Dono, his promotion, Wrestle Festival, is going down. Wrestle Festival 6, I believe. The God King is this one. So yes, Captain Custody is finally taking on Link Lancer in the main event for the Galactic World title. These two have been at each other ever since the beginning of Wrestle Festival, and the match just hasn't happened until now.
Did they steal Vince McMahon's random wrestler name generator?
No.
Oh my god!
But
that's in custody.
I wish that I could ring announce all 4 of these great events, but I can only be at one place at one time. So unfortunately, both of those are going to be for me for UPW. So I will not be at DZW. I will not be at Wrestle Festival. But some of y'all should be. Go to one of them. Support fucking independent wrestling. If you're gonna be out towards Pasadena, come to the one in Pasadena. If you're gonna be over there towards like Magnolia area, I don't mean like Magnolia, Texas. I mean the Magnolia part of Houston, like fucking 75th and Harrisburg. Yeah. Go to Wrestle Festival. Yeah. If you're gonna be out in Katy or Brookshire, go out to DZW. The 16th, man, it's gonna be great for local independent wrestling here in Houston. So check that out. But there's only one going down on the 9th, so I expect to see all your asses down in Santa Fe, Texas at the Volunteer Fire Department to see that cage match and see your boy do some ring announcing.
They don't need no water, let it burn. Anything else? When do you want to come back?
I don't know.
When's the next show? Are we waiting for Full Gear?
Full Gear's in November? No. Hold on. Let me rewind a little bit because there's something really big that's actually happening with DZW that I need to talk about. David Super Duper on. He was had a majority ownership of DZW, and he's been the one that's been in charge and booking and all that for the last couple of years. Well, some shit done went down where Dave is stepping back from that role, and he was looking for people to buy out his half of the company. And it was just announced earlier yesterday, I believe, or was it earlier today? Something like that. That we did find a buyer, and Dubron is going to step down as management, is going to go back to in-ring competing.
Shooter work.
Both.
Wow. Okay.
And the person that has taken over his spot is none other than Hambone. So,
oh God,
Hambone.
Fudge be coming.
Yes, the boss of the Sticks is now the boss of TZW. So that's some interesting turmoil stuff that's going on. We're gonna have some people that haven't been at DZW in a while come out that haven't been booked in a while. For example, Prince Canoe is gonna be there, and Sebastian Envy. We haven't seen either one of those in a hot minute, and they're coming back. So there's gonna be some changes to DZW here pretty soon.
DZW 2.0.
It's developmental now. That's why I'm not ring announcing, because I'm not developmental. No, I plan to be back the following month whenever there's not scheduling conflicts between DCW and UPW or whatever.
If I can get your lily ass to watch some Dark Side episodes, we can come back and do a Turnbuckle Theater on Dark Side, because there's been, oh my God, the uproar.
I heard the Kangen episode.
Did we ever talk about the uproar about the playwright from Hell? How Ric Flair was like,
I don't think we did,
sexually harassed as one of the flight attendants.
I know I watched that episode. I don't think we talked about it here, or did we?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
And then the Canyon episode was pretty bad. Was pretty sad too.
Yeah.
And then the one that just, oh man, I like learning new things as much as I'd like to talk. I don't know everything about pro wrestling, and I didn't really know much about FMW. Or,
me either. I don't know anything about that.
Dude, I was watching some of this during work, and my coworkers
hard at work over there.
Conversion, we didn't give a fuck. They show the footage of Hayabusa paralyzing himself in the ring.
Oh no!
Yeah, that I had that reaction.
Oh,
it's not pretty. But that FMW episode is a really good watch. I think Johnny Canine or something is coming up this week.
I never heard of this guy.
I haven't heard of this guy either. So I'll be learning some stuff again. School time.
Yeah.
So if you want to watch a couple episodes and we can go over them, or we could wait till we want to talk about Crown Jewel maybe, or Full Gear, or we'll figure something out.
We'll figure it out. It depends how our schedules work out,
That too. Yeah. Because I'm always gone. Coast to coast. I did LA 3 weeks ago, and I'll be in New York in 3 weeks. And I did Chicago last weekend, which, God damn it,
this is a good story.
All month, I bought this $38 flight to go to Chicago round trip Saturday to Sunday just because I wanted to get out of the fucking house. And on the itinerary, the first stop was Pro Wrestling Tees, so I can get my fresh CM Punk shirt, fresh from the presses, in hand, not worrying about UPS or USPS's shitty, slow delivery service or getting lost in the mail. And the day before, everything was fine. The day that I went, last Saturday, their website posted that the store was closed till further notice for restocking. God damn it! Just my luck.
Business must be good. Business must be good.
Really good. Yeah. Oh, man. It wasn't a complete loss. Chicago was awesome for the time I was there.
Got some pizza?
Yes.
Deep dish, Chicago style?
I went to Gino's again.
Nice.
I stopped at Reckless Records and picked up a couple of things. One record, Spirit Box, Eternal Blue. I couldn't find a copy on vinyl anywhere here. And I randomly found one up there, so I picked that up. Went drinking for a little bit, then checked into the hostel. Oh. But it was fun. I'm ready to get back out again. Tickets for Full Gear already went on sale. They moved it from St. Louis to Minneapolis at the Target Center. But
why? What happened in St. Louis?
I don't know.
Okay. Maybe a COVID thing?
Either that or now that they got Punk and Brian, they can get a bigger arena. So Target Center.
Sorry, St. Louis. We're going to Minneapolis.
They got Dynamite, though, so they'll figure it out. That's it.
That's it. All right, then. Adios, my friends. Keep it classy. Thank you for joining us on a Sunday afternoon. This was delightful.
I hope we made you feel better after that Texans rapage from the goddamn Buffalo.
0-40.
40-0. God damn.
You know, I haven't been watching any football this year because after the stuff with Hopkins, the stuff with J.J. Watt, stuff with Deshaun, I'm like, dude,
we ain't got a team.
I don't care.
We ain't got a team.
Well, yeah, I don't know, man. It's like
we're in developmental.
I'm done. So I haven't cared. I haven't watched. I haven't listened to Sports Radio 610. I didn't give a fuck. So this last 5 minutes that you were watching when I came here was the first Texans football I've seen all season. And I was like, 0-40. I picked the right fucking season to stop watching Texans football. So it made me happy seeing them losing so bad.
How many times do you think Arnold cut himself after this 40-0 loss?
Well, I don't know. We haven't heard from him all day.
I haven't heard from him.
Even though we've texted him multiple times.
I somewhat purposely even delayed our airing today so that we could try to squeeze in Arnold. I had beer for him so that we can drown his sorrows in wrestling and beer. And I think
he's not even in the chat.
He's not even in the chat. So I might need to call, send an email to Unsolved Mysteries, find us full.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah.
And personally, I'm gonna be that guy because we have a wrestling podcast. We, the city of Houston, are owed a championship trophy from the XFL. So ever since the XFL's canceling of the season, I literally fell out of football. Because and
you know what? I think you're right. That was the last time I really cared about football. And Roughnecks.
Because the tickets were affordable. It was close to home. It was fun. It was us as a group that we knew each other, and I was making new friends there. And it was an experience.
I went with Aaron to Dallas to watch the Texans the Roughnecks versus the Renegades.
Yeah, it's an experience. It's cool happening. Yeah, Texans. It's a huge ass field. Tickets are all sold out. You got to scalp them to get tickets, and you got to pay to get fucking tailgate now. And it's too corporate. And XFL felt more almost like college football, almost that environment. And ever since the whole COVID thing happened, I was like, there goes football, I guess, And that's the other part with COVID. It's like you can't really get your hopes up for a lot of things because, cancellation or postponement here and there. It's like, so it's like,
There you go.
All right, we're getting out of here.
Adios, my friends. Keep it classy.
Yeah.
Did I already do that?
Yeah, you did do that already.
Okay, well then.
You want to do one more time?
No,
just to make
fucking
sure
press the button. Just press the button.